My parents were one was a junkie and one was an alcoholic. So, my daughter got me evicted from the place I was living at.
Why would you say your daughter was acting out like that?
Oh,
Uh,
because she was a heroin addict.
where's your daughter at now?
Oh, she's dead.
Wow.
Yeah, she OD'd. She was 9 months pregnant.
What's up, YouTube? Top Flight USA back with another one. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's your name, age, and where you from?
Scott Scavarla, 53, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay. What brings you to North Carolina? Or how long you been in North Carolina?
About 81. Family.
Okay. So you got family down here.
I did.
Okay. Um, explain that a little bit. What you mean you did?
Well, I did. My parents are gone. I buried my daughter, and I buried her mother in March. So,
Wow. Sorry to hear about that, man.
yeah, me too.
Um, let's tap into your childhood. Did you grow up in a two-parent household?
For a little while, maybe about 9 years.
Okay. Then your parents separated.
Yeah, they got divorced.
Um,
Dad didn't want to have nothing to do with us, so my mom did the best she could.
right. How did that make you feel?
Didn't make me feel any type of way, really. I didn't understand at 9, you know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
it wasn't until later on that I started having ill feelings about the whole situation. But it is
Okay.
what it is.
Um, do you have any siblings?
No.
Only child.
Yep.
Okay. So, did you have a fairly normal childhood growing up?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I had two parents for a little while, and then I was down to one, and we moved down here. You know, so Hillsborough, North Carolina is where we moved to.
Okay. So, what type of neighborhood did you stay in when you moved down here?
It's a Joppa Oaks trailer park.
Okay. So, would you say your mom did the best she can do
Oh,
raising you
absolutely.
as a single parent?
As a single parent, trying to put food on the table and pay the rent, keep the lights on.
That's right. Okay. What was your highest grade level?
Oh, I graduated high school.
Did you go to college?
Nope. Took
O-
culinary classes down in New Orleans, though.
Okay. So what did you do after high school? You just got a job and work?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, growing up, did anything ever happen to you sexually,
Oh,
physically, or mentally?
nah. Well, I mean, the physical and the mental, probably. My parents were, one was a junkie and one was an alcoholic, so, and they like to take their problems out on us.
Wow.
But
Um, may I ask which one was which?
my mom was the alcoholic, my dad was the junkie. So,
Wow. How was that growing up to have two parents addicted to something?
you know, I don't really know because, it's funny because you don't really realize what's going on until later on in life. Because, when you're young, you don't really realize that your mom's an alcoholic or, your dad's popping pills and smoking and doing, you know what I mean? So by the time I was old enough to find all this out, I mean, I was already an adult, you know what I mean? So really, I don't know, it just seemed normal.
Okay. Are you homeless?
Yeah, absolutely.
How long you been homeless?
Year, 2 years. I think I'm going on 2 years.
Okay. 2 years ago, what made you become homeless?
My daughter got me evicted from the place I was living at.
Wow.
Yeah, I had my grandkids and they were living with me, and every time she couldn't get away, she loved to call my landlord, the police, DSS. She didn't care. Anybody that would pick up a phone and listen to her.
Wow.
And I got to know the police really well in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So they pull up in the yard, and I know, we're getting her off the property. DSS would call, or I had a lady. She used to come by my house all the time, and she'd sit out in her car. She never even came in the house. She just called me from my driveway. Hey, you want to step outside? I said sure. I walk outside. You got lights? You got food? You got this? You got yeah. She goes all right. I said she called, didn't she? She goes well I can't deny or I can't admit or deny that. But my daughter, she whatever she didn't get her way, that's what she did. So,
Okay. Why would you say your daughter was acting out like that?
oh,
Uh,
because she was a heroin addict.
wow. How was that uh, dealing with that as a father?
It wasn't. I had dealt with it for a little while. I got tired of my grandkids stepping over her to get out the front door to catch the bus. And so I let her stay with me for as long as I could. I'm going to wait for them to pass. And so, yeah, so um, I had to, I kicked her out. So my oldest granddaughters, they're not happy with the fact that I kicked her out. They think I killed her. So,
Wow. Where's your daughter at now?
oh, she's dead.
Wow.
Yeah, she OD'd. She was 9 months pregnant with my grandson.
Man, I'm sorry to hear about that. So your mom and your dad is gone,
Yep,
and your daughter.
my daughter and her mother. All I got is the grandkids.
Man,
And they're in Rocky Mount because I couldn't keep them. I wasn't bringing them out here. And in Rocky Mount, they have nothing like this in Rocky Mount. So it was best for me to find a place for them so I know that they'd be safe and I can have access to them. And then I'll come out here and I'll do what I got to do. So
wow.
finding a job ain't the easiest thing in the world. And then, I just got out of the hospital a couple of days ago. So
What you get out the hospital for?
I had a heart attack up at Urban Ministry.
You had a heart attack?
Yeah, it's my fifth one. So luckily somebody called the paramedics.
You had a heart attack at the Urban Ministries?
Yeah, I was classified as dead when they showed up. So how they got me back breathing, I don't know. Don't ask. But they got me back breathing. I remember eating Tuesday at lunch and waking up Thursday in the hospital
Wow.
and nothing in between.
Man. So how long you been dealing with heart problems?
2016.
And do you know what caused it or why?
Could be stress. I blew my heart out once. Just all probably mixture of stuff. Stress, being out here.
Yeah. Are you addicted to any drugs?
No,
You're not addicted to
I
anything?
don't drink. I don't. I smoke some weed. That's about it. I
Okay.
don't drink or anything. So
Other than your daughter that passed away, do you have any other kids?
I got 10 grandkids.
You got 10
Yeah.
grandkids.
Well, she was a heroin addict, so I'm pretty sure that as much as I really hate to say it and put it like this, but I'm pretty sure she probably sold her ass for whatever. So
Wow. Um,
it's sad to say, but I mean it is what it is,
yeah.
and I see it out here every day, and it is for a lot less than that, man. Sometimes for a pack of cigarettes, sometimes for a pack of cigarettes and a 40. Just all depends. It's
Wow.
sad,
Yeah,
but
it is. That's very sad.
we can't get no help. And I don't care about the IRC because I can bring you 30, 40 people from over there that don't even go there because that place is a dump. They don't help nobody. They want your name on the paper so that they can send it to the government or the state or whoever so they can get funding. But they still ain't helping nobody. And then they put everybody up in those pallet houses for 4 months and then they bring them right back out on the street so they can start signing again so they can get some more money. They don't help nobody. They're not even trying to. IRC used to be a good resource center. They had computers, they had clothes for interviews, they had all kind of mental health, medical. They had a computer lab. They had all kind of stuff. They ain't got none of that now.
and what do you think the cause is that the IRC building resources is being exhausted?
Well, uh, if you ask them, oh well, COVID. Well, COVID ain't here anymore. So you had all those computers. Where are they at? You know what I mean? Where's all this? Where's all these resources that you supposedly have for us homeless people? You don't. They ain't got no. They ain't got no resources. The city gave them $300,000 to open 24 hours. They're not open 24 hours because they shut down, they clean up, and then they open back up, and they put everybody back out in the morning. The only time they're open 24 hours is what, Friday, right? Friday, oh, Saturday, and Sunday, and then that's it. Come Monday, you're right back out. So they don't know. And then I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of new faces coming in here. A lot, like and they ain't nobody getting help. The only thing that's a blessing is the fact that we get fed almost every day.
So
That
they do feed the homeless.
not the IRC, but the churches.
Okay.
You know, somebody ought to go talk to some of these churches, get some money together, and go out and buy some property or something. Because these churches have money, and they if they're willing to come out and hand you a plate of food, they're willing to donate money to get you guys into like the pallet houses, but on a permanent basis. You
Right.
know,
What is the pallet houses?
they're like sheds. About the best way I can describe it. It's a shed that has some have one bunk, some have two. Has a little heater. It's probably no bigger than this car right here. So
And you been there before?
Oh, I never stayed in them, no, huh? But I've seen them. I've been out there with the pallet houses. I never actually slept in one, but I had a friend of mine. She was out of one. And I got to look in hers, but she had a single. But some of them have two beds.
Oh
And imagine
wow.
putting two people in that small of a confined space. That's just not right.
Right. Well, at least they're trying to do something, but I
For the,
think they can do more.
oh yeah, they can definitely do more. You know.
Um, when the last time you talked to your grandkids?
Um, Today actually. I finally got my phone back after I got out of the hospital because I thought I lost it, and I called and talked to them for a little while, and then that was it. I went up to the bridge. I didn't even eat up there. I just went up there and got a drink and left.
Okay.
I ain't been able to hold nothing down lately. So
Um, if one of your other family members happen to see this video, what do you think their thoughts will be?
I don't know. They can think what they want to. I'm not here to change their mind or convince them of anything. So, they-
What about one of your grandkids if they was to see this video?
well, it's possible that they would, but I'm okay with that too. It doesn't bother me none. I'm not ashamed of my situation. I just don't like my situation. My
That's right.
situation is what it is.
That's right.
So until I can get a job, and I got a job and got myself up off the street until the apartment complex. I lost my job, and then they started giving me a hard time. I set up the payments, and then they still evicted me after I made the payments. So and I just have to start over and do it again. I'm looking for a job now.
Okay. How is it finding a job here in Greensboro?
It's not easy because it's hard getting around. See, unless you're downtown, like to go out to Friendly Shopping Center or West Market Street or Battleground. I mean that all requires a bus ticket. And I need two, one there and one back.
Right.
So getting around is pretty difficult. But I scrape together. I get some bus tickets when I can, and then I go out and look. I'll take the bus out there. I'll spend all day out there and come back. It is what it is. I try to utilize what I got.
Right. Have you ever thought about like relocating?
Relocating is the easy part. Finding a place that you can survive, that's the hard part. Because, like I said, here it's food. I can eat every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I really wanted to. You know, you can't find that in Raleigh or Charlotte or any of the other cities. Probably, I don't know. I never been, um, but yeah. So surviving here is a lot easier than it would be somewhere else. Because then you got to find a place that you can sleep that's safe, and you're not in the hood or you're not in Cracktown, USA. You know what I mean? And then you got to make sure that the people that are around you are decent, so that you don't wake up fucking getting beat on or getting your stuff stolen. Because it happens all the time out here.
Right. Um, if you could tell the government something about homelessness or about your situation in general, what would you say?
Wow. I'd pretty much explain to them, that we're not all the same out here. Some of us are actually trying to do something, and some aren't. Me personally, I'm trying to do something. Now, whether or not it works or not, I mean, I can't get no help, so I'll have to do it on my own.
Right,
But, finding housing is going to be the issue because nobody wants to rent. Finding housing that I can afford would be even better.
right. Okay. At this point, what are we doing to get ourselves out of this situation?
Well, right now, I just got out of the hospital and I can barely walk from here to there and still be able to breathe. So I'm going to try to take tomorrow and then I'm going to see how I feel Monday and try to go back to looking for a job. Or I may have to take Monday. I just need to get my stamina and my breath back. The truth of the matter is, I can't walk from here to across the street without losing my breath right now.
Okay.
So until that clears up, there ain't no point in me trying to look for a job whenever I walk in and I can't even breathe and talk.
Right. You need to work on your health.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, the hospital doesn't want to help you anyway. So I woke up Thursday and they said, well, we're going to let you go. I said, all right. So I left. They wouldn't even give me a bus ticket back into town. I had to walk from the hospital all the way back into town. So,
Wow.
yeah, that was awfully nuts of them.
Okay. If it was any kids watching this, what could you tell them about homelessness or addictions?
It's not a game. It's never a game. You might think it is, but when you get out here, you'll find out that this is not a game out here. And there are some people out here that aren't here to play. So, as far as the addiction, hey, I'm sure we all got an addiction to something, whether it's shoes or clothes or drugs or whatever the case may be. But you really need to pay attention to what you're doing because you ending up out here is not the way to go at all
That's right.
for anybody.
That's right. Do you got a cash app?
I do not.
Oh man, I wish you had one. I would have posted it right on this video. But maybe if I see you again and we do an update video, we'll do it on that one. But I appreciate you for
Yes,
doing
sir.
the interview. Take care of yourself, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.